Hello, thanks for joining me again. Since it's another beautiful day, I thought we'd be outside and bring it to you in this lovely weather. So we're gonna start today with our mat or a blanket, just something soft underneath of you to protect your joints and your limbs here. So we're gonna get started standing up. Come all the way up with me, and let's go ahead and just move through those limbs. So shake out those arms, shake out those legs. We've probably all been sitting quite a bit here, so just get some movement going. And then let's go ahead and open those arms nice and big. Flex those hands here, reach the fingertips back. And then we'll give ourselves a hug here, rounding the spine, tucking the chin. Nice big open with the arms, that gaze can even lift. And then exhale, we'll round. Let's try one more here. Inhale, nice and open. And then exhale, round. Coming close. From here, we're gonna release those arms down. Let's roll those shoulders back. Let the chest open. And just keep those knees nice and soft here so we're not locking out. We'll take one more that direction. And then go ahead and reverse. So bring those shoulders forward. Feel the shoulder blades open. And we'll take a couple more here. And last one. And then one more roll to the back here, setting those shoulders. And let's go ahead and add some twisting. So let those arms twist side to side. Let those hips go. That opposite knee can bend. Just get some movement through the spine, through those shoulders. Just breathing here. Nothing too controlled. And then once you feel balanced side to side, we'll come back through center. And then today I want to work a little bit through that, focus on the pelvis, and focus on the pelvis as it relates to the hips and as it relates to the spine. So before we even move more here, I want you to make a shape of the pelvis with your hands. So make just a nice oval. And I want you to rotate those hands forward and rotate those hands back. So this is a small movement, and we're going to imitate that with our pelvis. So as those hands start to rotate forward, let the pelvis rotate forward. That pubic bone presses down. That spine will change shape, and then we'll rotate back. So feel that pubic bone lift up towards the breastbone, lengthening at the front of the hips. Same thing, rotate forward and back. And then I'm going to turn to the side to help you see a little bit more. So we rotate forward, noticing how that pelvis angles down, and back, how that pelvis pulls up and underneath of you. So we're going to use this throughout the class today, just trying to isolate that movement a little bit. And sometimes it can be hard to find, so give yourself a little bit of forgiveness if you can't get it right away. And let's take one more here, really feeling that tailbone tuck, the pubic bone pull in, and that belly pull in. Go ahead and release to your neutral. We're going to take that take that left leg forward. And we want about a foot's distance between our feet here, so we're not too far into our lunge. And then we want about 6 inches side to side. So once we're there, hands can come to the hips, and then start to send a little bit of weight forward into that front leg. So we're going to start to load that glute. From here, dip forward at the pelvis, finding our hinge, and lift up. And I'm going to turn to the side to help you see a little bit. We're dipping forward and up. So feel a little bit more weight towards the front leg. Feeling that glute work as you start to move at the pelvis. And just reaching that chest down towards the thigh. Keeping that back relatively neutral here. We're not over rounding or arching. Let's take one more. And then we'll come all the way up. From here, go ahead and send some length into that back leg. So we want it to be nice and long here. We want to keep the ball of the foot down, so all the way from the base of that big toe through that little toe. Keeping that back leg nice and straight, we're going to work the front hip flexor. So go ahead and find that curl under of the pelvis. So tucking that tail, trying to pull the belly in, feeling that hip stretch, and then release. Same thing. Pull the belly in, feel that pubic bone reach up towards the breastbone, and release. So So it's a really small movement, but hopefully you're feeling some stretch across the front of the hip and back. If not, try to straighten that back leg even more. And then that'll get the glute involved a little bit as well. And let's take one more here. And then release. From here, we're gonna stay in this lunge position. I wanna add a little bit of twisting. So we're gonna find that hinge forward, and then reach that hand across the front knee, twisting over, and come all the way up. Same thing, we'll hinge forward, add our twist, and up. So we're twisting towards that front knee, still loading that glute. Try two more. Adding your breath, you can add the exhale as you twist. Last one. Come all the way up and then bring that back foot forward. Go ahead and shake out those legs. We're gonna switch which foot is in front. So bring that opposite foot forward. I'll turn here again. So finding that stance again. We've got a foot distance between our 2 feet and then 6 inches left to right. Once you're there, we're gonna find that hinge forward at the pelvis. So reaching the chest down and lift up. Getting that movement in the body to start. And just add whatever breath works for you here. Maybe the exhale takes you down. The inhale lifts you up. Let's try two more. And last one. And all the way up. Now we're going to work those those hip flexors here. So sending a little bit of weight forward, still connecting with the ball of the foot, and then really lengthening that back leg so it's super straight. We're going to let that tailbone tuck under, feel the belly pull up and in, stretching the front of the hip, and then release. Same thing, tuck under and release. We'll try a couple more here. Lengthening through that back leg, feeling that front leg support you. Let's go for one more. And release. From here, we're going to add our twist. So we'll hinge forward, reach that back arm across the knee, and lift up. Same thing. Exhale forward, cross, and up. Let's try three more. Last two. And last one. All the way up, bring that back foot forward, and then we're going to make our way down to the mat. So we're going to come kneeling. Give yourself a little room here, just finding the center of the mat. And we want the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. So we're in our nice neutral position for the spine. And then I want to take that work that we did standing for the pelvis and translate it down here to the mat. So before we start, really try to reach the tailbone behind you, lengthening it away from your breastbone. So trying to reach that breastbone through the arms, feel the back of the neck long and that chin gently tuck under. And then on an exhale, go ahead and curl your tailbone, pull the belly in, reaching the ribs up towards the sky, allowing the gaze to come underneath. And then inhale, we release. Reaching the tailbone back, trying to pull the breastbone forward, back of the neck stays long. Exhale as we curl under, pull the belly in, feel the hands press into the mat. Inhale, find that nice long position with the spine. Let's try two more each way. Exhale, and inhale. Last one. Return to our neutral. From here, we're going to work our balance a little bit. So go ahead and float one hand forward, trying to keep the shoulders at the same height as we lift that arm up, and then set it all the way down. Over to the other side, reach that arm forward, lift up, and down. A couple more here. Just adding the breath that you need. Keeping the belly gently pulled in to support that movement. We've got one more here. And then we're gonna start adding those legs. So reach that first arm forward. Add that opposite leg, reach it back, lift. And then everything comes in. Over to the other side, reach forward and back, lifting those limbs. Feel the glute connect as you lift, trying to make that movement happen at the glute muscle. And then we're gonna add on one more time. So reaching those limbs away from each other, growing long. And then exhale, pull the belly in, reach the knee towards the elbow as they reach for each other underneath. Inhale, lengthen. Set all that down over to the other side. Lengthen out, inhale. Exhale, curl under, tapping maybe the elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen, and down. Let's try that one more each side. Lengthen out. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen, and down. Last one here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Feel that spine round. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, down. Let's go ahead and come on to our bottoms here, flipping those legs around. And we're gonna give ourselves a few roll downs here to get to the mat. So feet will be planted, hands will be under the thighs, and use those hands to first sit nice and tall. So feel the shoulders over the hips, the belly gently pulled in, the top of the head reaching for the sky. On your exhale, let that tailbone tuck under you so that pelvis moves. Pull the belly in. Let the arms lengthen for our roll back here. Hold that position, and then exhale, we'll roll forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Same thing, exhale. Let that tailbone curl under. Try to reach it for the heels as you curl back. Inhale, pause. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lengthen. Two more just like that. Feeling the shoulders down the back. Feeling those abdominals support you as you lengthen away from the thighs. Last one here. We're gonna hold this position. So holding our curl, let those hands release forward. And then from here, we're gonna curl all the way down. So exhale, pull that belly even deeper. Try to reach the tailbone for the heels as we curl down, melting the low back to the mat, the shoulders, and then we can add that reach overhead of the arms for a little bit of stretch there. And then go ahead and set the hands down by the hips. Let's walk those feet in. So we've got the knees pointed up, feet flat on the mat, shoulders underneath of you. We're gonna press into the feet and start to roll our hips up. So feel the belly pull in. Start with that pelvic tilt, right? Tilting the pubic bone towards the breastbone. We did that standing up. From there, press into the feet. Lift the hips high. We're gonna hold that position. Let the arms go overhead. Thumbs can point down, arms just wider than the shoulders. And then starting with the breastbone, try to melt down to the mat, lengthening away from the hands until we set the hips all the way down and the hands come down to the hips. We'll try that a few more times here. Rolling up, starting that curl at the pelvis, feeling the feet planted beneath you, and then we'll reach the arms up, overhead, thumbs pointed down, and then try to reach that breastbone away from the hands, lengthening the abdominals, lengthening the spine, and set the hips down. Let's go for one more here. We'll roll up, using that breath, inhaling here. Take those arms overhead, and then exhale, melt the spine down. And then inhale, return the hands to the hips. From here, we're gonna work those abdominals a little bit more. So we're gonna take the hands behind the head. Go ahead and interlace the fingers. Knees can stay bent. Inhale down here at the bottom. Let those elbows be wide. On your exhale, try to lift that breastbone up towards the sky. And then inhale, set you down. Exhale, lifts you up. Inhale, down. So try to feel the back of the neck long, the head heavy in the hands. This motion comes from those ribs. So try not to let it be all about the neck. Feel the back of the hips heavy on the mat. And and feel the abdominal shorten as you curl up. Let's add a little bit of movement with those legs. So we're going to let both those knees fall over to one side, and let's go just about halfway over. Once you're there, we're going to add our curl, this time twist away from those knees. So we're trying to curl towards that opposite hip. Inhale, lengthen, and then sway those knees to the other side. Add that curl in the opposite direction. Inhale through center. Keep going there with your breath, feeling those obliques as we curl side to side. We'll do one more each way. And last one here. Come all the way through center. Release the hands, set them down by the hips. We're going to focus on those legs a little bit more. So go ahead and bring one knee in towards the body. Give it a nice stretch in. You can circle the ankle. And then you can let that other leg slide down the mat. Release those hands just wider than the mat and send that leg up towards the sky here. Leg can be straight, or you can keep a little bit of bend if those hamstrings feel tight. That bottom leg, we want to flex the heel. Feel that anchor you to the mat. We're going to take the top leg across the body, down, out, and up. Going into our leg circles here. Feel the shoulders heavy on the mat, the back of the head. And on this one, we're trying to keep the pelvis relatively stable. So both hips will stay down. Feeling the abdominals help stabilize the pelvis. One more here. And then let's reverse. We're going to take that leg out, down, across, and up. Using that breath to help you. We can inhale to start the movement. And exhale to finish. Take two more here. And last one. And then give that knee one more hug. And then we'll set that foot to the mat. Bring the other knee in. Start with that hug in. Let that bottom leg lengthen. Flex the foot. Release the hands. Leg reaches high. And then we start our circles across, down, out, and up. Maybe those hips feel a little bit more open since we started with that stretch. Maybe they're still a little tight, so those circles are a little smaller. Wherever you're at, just breathe through your circles here. Let's take one more this direction. And then we'll reverse. Going out, down, across, and up. Two more here. And last one. And then we'll hug that knee in. Bring the other up to meet it. Feeling that spine press against the mat. Belly nice and heavy into the spine. And then we'll release those feet down. We're gonna find our roll-up position from here. So arms reach up towards the ceiling. We're gonna take those arms overhead to start, and then let the arms circle out to the side. As they reach down, lift the head, tuck the chin, start to find your roll-up using those thighs if you need it. Reach the hands forward to find that last little bit of length, and then we'll set the hands down. Let's go ahead and come onto those knees just to end together here. Let's take a few breaths. So we're going to take a nice big inhale. We can close those eyes, and then exhale. Just let it all go. Feel nice and grounded here on the mat, taking whatever comfortable seat you'd like. Let's just take two more breaths. Feeling the shoulders nice and heavy. The neck in line with the spine in line with the pelvis. And after that last breath, go ahead and open those eyes. Thank you for joining me today. I'm glad to have you and hope you enjoyed the class. My name is Karalyn. I teach at UMSL Rec Center, and I'm glad to see you all. Have a good day.